Building motivation in our teams is one of the most important things that we as leaders can do. Getting people to give us that discretionary effort, the over and above just coming in and doing their job. So how do we really address getting the best out of people rather than the most out of people? First of all, let's think about what it is that motivates and what it is that demotivates. Hertzberg's theory, old but valuable, tells us that we have hygiene factors, in other words, things that if they're missing act as demotivators, and motivating factors, in other words, things that if they're present motivate us to do more. As leaders, focus first on the hygiene factors, get rid of the stuff that demotivates, working conditions, policies, procedures, salary complaints. Once you've got rid of those, focus on what motivates. Salary, important. We need to pay people fairly, but we need to pay people enough that they don't feel that money is a problem. And this is where organisations get it wrong, because our remuneration policies were designed in the 19th or 20th century when people were doing more of a physical repetitive task, and that's where monetary incentives work really well. In the 21st century, our output is cognitive, it's creative, it's non-repetitive. And unfortunately, the data tells us that that's where monetary incentives fall down. And in fact, rewarding people for cognitive tasks actually decreases their performance, sometimes by up to 30 or even 40%. So paying people to do a complicated thing, rewarding them for doing it quickly, does not work. So what does? Motivating people requires three things: autonomy, mastery, requires belonging. These are the psychological needs that people want fulfilled by their work. Autonomy, the freedom to do things the way I want to do them and when I want to do them. And recently, this is one of the things that has been easy for us. As we work remotely, we have more freedom about what we do. We have more freedom about when we do it. We have more freedom about how we do it. That freedom is, in my view, responsible for quite a lot of the productivity bump that people have seen. They feel more autonomous. As leaders, we need to remember this. Secondly, mastery. Getting better at stuff that I think is worthwhile and valuable. Can we give people the opportunity to learn new things that they value in and of themselves, rather than learning new things in order to achieve some corporate goal that we don't particularly believe in? And then finally, belonging. How do we make sure that people feel part of a wider whole? And of late, that's been more and more difficult because we've been more and more remote and more individual. We're missing the water cooler chats, the people we see in the lift, the people we see on the way in and out of work. Relationships have become narrower. We feel we belong to a small team. We don't feel we belong to a larger whole. So we need to create ways in which people can link to those people outside of their immediate teams, link to the wider organisation, link to that bigger sense of purpose. Because if we've given them autonomy, we're creating mastery, and they feel that they're belonging, then we're going to fly.